Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 13! The cursed number! Welcome to episode 13 of the John Doe Review. My name is Danielle. John Doe, obviously. I got this little mic in my hand yet again, second week in a row. And guys, I'm sorry for yelling. Actually, let me calm down. I'm an adult. Okay. Today, or rather tonight, and as tonight I mean Saturday, the day before I'm supposed to post this, and I'm just gonna have to edit this in one go tonight. Tonight we have our first guest star on the John Doe Review, and this person I strongly believe deserves to have a voice this episode. Everyone, please welcome my husband, Hunter!
Wow. I really appreciate it. Wow. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I appreciate my ability to be on here. I was hoping I would be on a slightly more upbeat episode, but I understand why I'm here now. And I'm sure you guys are all wondering why I'm here, and oh boy.
We'll get into it. So, today's topic, singular, yes, is going to be how my ceiling, or rather our ceiling, ended up on our couch. I originally was not going to have Hunter be a guest on this episode. I didn't plan on having a guest on, the John Doe Review for a while. But the past couple of weeks have just been insane. Last episode, I cracked my phone. And then, just a hint at the next episode where I'm just going to have to go back in time, Hunter lost his key fob to his car.
Not my proudest moment.
That's a whole, crazy weekend. We ended up seeing Yeba. But no, I decided I don't want this episode to be 5 years long. And so, we're just going to talk about the ceiling. Now, let's get into it. But remember, this is the John Doe Review, so you have to stay until the very end to find out what I'm going to review the last 2 weeks of my life as.
And oh boy, I'm sure it's hard to tell what it's gonna be.
And it's gonna get ranked out of 5 stars. Okay, let's get into the first and only stupid and avoidable topic. I'm gonna preface with an apology if I keep huffing and puffing into the microphone. I'm just expelling a lot of air. But our first topic. So, I don't know how much I can and cannot say because we are heavily considering taking legal action. But on May 22nd, so but over a month ago at this point in time. Right now I'm filming this on June 27th. Yeah, June 27th. Hunter sent me a text and was like, would you like to explain yourself?
Sure, yeah. I had come home from work, as usual, and noticed a bit of dust on our entertainment center in the living room. This was abnormal, as, we have some normal dust, but this was actual fine grain. I'm looking at a picture of it right now. And then I looked up as the only spot it could have come from, and I see that the ceiling near the sort of pinnacle looks like it's separating. And actually, I think the word I used when I sent the original message to the landlord, it looks like it's disconnected near the top.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to interrupt, and I apologize. I'm not usually on this podcast, I like to I like to keep people anonymous just to respect, I don't know, personal information online, whatever. Our landlord? Oh, Anna, all right, if this ever gets to you, and it won't, because I think she's genuinely incompetent because she communicates with AI solely. Anyways, okay, sorry, Hunter, resume. We'll get there. Sorry, I got heated.
But yeah, I sent a text message over to our landlord saying it looked like the ceiling was disconnected near the top. Wasn't sure what was going to happen, but wanted to note it, quote, in case anything else happened.
And guys, let me describe this photo Hunter sent on May 22nd of 2026. He texted Anna, a paragraph saying, hey, it looks like our ceiling is disconnected. There's a bunch of dust everywhere, whatever. And then in this photo, he sent multiple pictures. But in these photos, you could see the sagging of the disconnected ceiling. And you don't have to show, I'm not going to, because it's a podcast, I'm not going to insert a picture. Guys, it's his first podcast, okay?
Sorry, guys.
We keep it simple here on the John D Review. You can probably see the reflection of my glasses, this bright ass picture. But in this photo, you could see the sagging of the ceiling and like the curvature of the ceiling that obviously should not be curved and drooping. And then you could see where it started opening up above our, I don't even want to know, $4,000 OLED TV. And so when he texted me that, I was like, oh, I'm concerned, especially because it's over like very expensive electronics and our sound bar. Oh my God. And so he sends that text and Anna responds with, oh, okay, I'll have somebody come out and look at it. 2 weeks go by.
Nothing.
Okay, anyways, I've already decided at this point, I'm tired of this fuck-ass house. So we sent her our notification email that we would not be renewing our lease because our lease at the time was up at the end of August. And so I sent her that email and then I mentioned again, hey girl, thank you so much for letting us stay in this house, right? Like, at the end of the day, I'm so grateful to have a house over my head and whatever. Thank you. I've noticed as the weather has heated up, cracks have been forming in places. And then I go, is that going to get, taken out of my security deposit for you to fix that? Like, how is that gonna work? Because our security deposit was a month's rent, so $1,900. And she basically responds with, yeah, we'll get to that whenever you move out. So then at this point, before when Hunter first told me about the ceiling, I was extremely concerned. I was like, what the fuck? Like, the ceiling is disconnected from itself and it's like literally sagging and dust is falling. And it was like an ever-changing thing, like as just the weather got hotter and hotter, like I said in my email. But her response, mind you, I sent that email on June 6th. Okay, so we went May 22nd, nothing happened. We're at June 6th now. And she says, we'll look at it later. And that reply from her came on June 9th.
And we also noticed that more dust had been falling down. It had been, the crack had...
It was just progressing as the weather heated up.
Yeah, it was getting worse. But yeah, again, her reaction made us think, oh, maybe we're overreacting.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I've never owned a home.
We're
maybe
not
we
contractors
look...
or
Yeah,
anything.
like, maybe we look really stupid. But we were just like, okay, maybe we're overreacting. Like, at the end of the day, she owns this house. And if she's not freaking out, like, I guess. But we just noticed as the weather kept heating up, it was ever changing. But we told her, it looks like the ceiling was disconnecting. And we sent pictures. Anyways, flash forward. On June 17th, I went up to Dallas with Hunter and my sister-in-law to go visit my newborn nephew. Shout him out. He's so cute. He's officially 4 weeks old. 4 weeks old yesterday. Yeah, he's the cutest little baby. I'm so happy for my brother and his girlfriend. Yay family, yay love, yay life. But it took a night. It took a night before the world fell apart. So then on June 18th, I get a message, mind you, because we have two really good friends of ours who were staying in the house because their rental like situation was awful because they went to move in and suddenly, because they had checked out the house like a couple days before, there was like a very obvious infestation of roaches and their landlord was being an asshole. Surprise, surprise! Does it have to be in your DNA to just be an asshole to be able to be a landlord? Do you have to take an asshole test to be able to be a landlord? And they're like, ooh, you're too nice. Like, you actually care about people, like, living in a great environment and, like, feeling safe and feeling valued. And, yeah, that's too much. That's too much. Like, oh, anyway, so we were letting them stay here while that situation got, like, fixed. And we get a call from one of them, and it's to Hunter's phone.
Yes. So our friend called me and started off by saying, "Hey, are you busy?"
And at this point, we're just like laying on the bed. I think we were in my mom's room because we were keeping the cats in my mom's room and just like hanging out with them. And then he gets this call.
Well, of course, I said no, and he's like, "Okay, so the roof fell in the living room." It didn't feel real. And
I feel like your reaction was very like, huh? Like it didn't give alarmed. It just gave like, what did you just say?
Yeah, it wasn't believable because when someone tells you something like that, I mean, I'm not looking at it, and so it's hard for me to visualize it, conceive that it's true. And then he sent me the picture, and I was like, oh my God, yeah. So I'm looking at it now for reference, and yeah,
It's this picture. Let me describe this picture. Imagine the entire living room ceiling of your home laying on your couch. Like fully like taking a nap on your couch. It was and look, I'll be a little less dramatic because I'm a good person. It wasn't the absolute entire living room ceiling. It was like 70% of it though. Just like laying on our couch, all of our friend stuff, all of our furniture. Broke my favorite lamp.
It was also some of the wall. I'm looking at it now.
Oh, yeah. And some of the wall. Oh, my God. So he sends that, and we were like, oh, because when we left, we were thinking, oh, it's like this front portion that we're noticing, like where the main concern was. No, homie, the entire fucking roof or ceiling fell onto our freaking couch. And so I'm immediately pissed off. Because we told this person, I need to be somewhat nice. We told this older person, Anna, about this on May 22nd, and she was just, oh yeah, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And that's kind of how she's been, but whatever. And so we call her, we tell her what happened. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I straight up go on that first call. I say, okay, yeah, we're going to tally the damages, and then I'll get back to you. And she was like, okay. And I was like, okay. And so we hang up. Days go by. Obviously it has to get repaired. We notice in our Ring camera, our house is trashed. They didn't cover any of our freaking furniture. So our furniture is already extremely dusty from the entire ceiling falling down and like all of the, what is it called? Asbestos?
No, it's not asbestos.
What is it?
It's
my aunt was like, asbestos, you've been exposed. I was like, oh my god, are we gonna die?
No,
but it's like the insulation and stuff, and just like drywall, and
the insulation did not fall down. It was just the drywall.
No, there's some in our plant right now.
Oh shoot, yeah,
yes. You're right. And so I basically am like, okay, let me text this lady to try to get some help, because not only did they not like cover anything, the house is trashed, and they're keeping all of the doors to outside open with our AC running, which means our electricity bill, mind you, it's the end of June, is gonna be out the wazoo and high as hell.
Luckily, we had the thought before we left, hey, let's bump it up. We usually keep it at 75, which personally I already think is high.
Look. If we want to talk about this right now, okay. I'm a cold person. I get it from my dad. I'm cold all the time. Okay, even right now, my toesy woesies are cold. And Hunter's probably sweating next to me. But
Just a little.
so we did bump it up.
We bumped it up to 80 degrees while we were
But they were
out.
keeping the, like, literally, I looked at the camera footage and each door was like, just wide open, like it was trying to eat me. I'm like, close the freaking doors. But I didn't want to say that through the ring because obviously, like, I'm not a mean person like that. I wanted to, though. And so I text her, I'm like, hey, considering all the damages, and considering the fact that our electricity bill is going to be high as hell, can you please compensate us?
Makes
Period?
sense.
Question mark?
Makes sense to me.
Right? It makes sense to me, right? Because we told you about this shit in May, and then the entire fucking ceiling fell on our shit a month later. Right? Anyways, her response is essentially, that's what renter's insurance is for, actually. And yeah, I can't do anything about your electricity bill. Sorry. And then obviously, she doesn't know who the fuck she's talking to. My name is Danielle John Doe. I take after my mother. All right, I'll argue a bitch to the ground. Ain't no way. You just said, one, that's what renter's insurance is for. Mind you, renter's insurance is primarily for, like, I don't know, fires, flooding, not a preventable thing that your non-action directly caused the damage to my shit. That is essentially the equivalent of her coming in here and, like, breaking our shit. No, I'm not filing that with renter's insurance. You're going to pay me because you broke my shit. Hey y'all, editing Danielle here. As we finish packing, I wanted to insert right here an analogy that I feel like is Anna's logic. So, her logic is as if we reported like termites or something, and she waited until the house fell to fix it. Because that's what she needs to treat. It's like, oh, there's termites? Well, when it falls, I'll do something. And what we're arguing, which I feel like, actually, not even I feel like, I know is the proper way to think about this situation because cause and effect, right? Is, hey, we're reporting there's termites eating at the walls. You should fix that. And because you didn't fix that, the entire house collapsed. Right? And this essential concept, like, does not click in her mind, or she's semi-competent enough to know that even if she does understand she's in the wrong, she shouldn't admit it if she wants to try to get as much money out of us as possible. Which, Anna, if you ever see this, let's be a good person. Okay, let's think about how our actions can negatively affect people and how we need to be empathetic and kind to people that we are their landlord, right? Especially people who have been nice to you and always paid you early and help fund your lifestyle. Right? Or you could keep being a terrible person. Yeah. Anyways, sorry, I got a little heated. Let me lower my voice. So, I'm going back and forth with her, and then she goes, you know what, fine. After my calculations, I can give you $50 off of next month's rent.
Hey, what a deal, huh?
What a deal. $50! Do you know how much I can do with $50?
One tank of gas.
That's pushing it a little bit for my Highlander. $50, that's like 10 Big Mac meals. Not even these days. That's a cravings box a couple of times from Taco Bell.
Can you tell what we had for dinner?
That's like what, maybe 3 Whopper meals? Okay. So she says that and I'm like, electric chair. Electric chair.
Yeah.
All right, but obviously I don't send that. Okay, anyways. We get home on Sunday, June 21st.
Correct.
We see that the new ceiling that was put up is finished, right? But it gets even better. It gets even better because there is a ginormous crack in the wall that supports the large support beam that runs across the entire living room area. And not like a little crack, like it was splitting open, like there was some space there.
And this is not even on the same side as the ceiling that fell. This is on the other
The
side.
opposite end.
Yeah. This had nothing to, well, hopefully nothing to do, but it just, it extends from probably 5 inches below the support beam all the way up the support beam and then goes across the wall a little bit. Like, it was scary to come home to that.
And so not only was there that, but the entire ceiling that was repaired was also cracking and flaking off. Cracking and flaking off. Yay! That's the theme. That's the theme. I cracked my phone. The ceiling's cracking. What else is gonna get cracked?
Our will to live here, man.
We're gonna move past that because I don't like how that sounded. Okay, so, I know what needs to get cracked. Okay. Moving on. All right. So, we immediately call our landlord Anna with one N because she lacks in every aspect of her life. She's missing a letter in her name. She's missing empathy. She's missing comprehensive communication skills. Anyways, okay.
Yeah,
okay. She's just lacking everywhere. Anna with one N. And she's like, oh yeah, I'll have somebody come out as soon as I can. Flash forward 2 days. At this point, on Monday, actually, so flash forward one day. On Monday, I'm talking with a realtor because I'm like, oh, hey, this happened, just so you know, because she was already talking to us more often because, you know, we were going to move in a couple of months. And she goes, oh my God, you need to get out. Like, this is grounds for you to get the hell out of that house. And I was like, oh, I didn't think about that. Mm-hmm. And I check our lease, and there is a clause, renters know your fucking rights. Mm-hmm. Section 92.056. If your landlord fails to repair a safety risk, and it like lists all things that can go under that, including your ceiling falling. Mm-hmm. If they don't fix it within 3 to 7 days, depending on the severity of it, you have the right to terminate your lease. Legally. You do. Anyways. So, after that and talking with other people and talking like with my aunt who's a landlord, they were all like, yeah, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Mm-hmm. This is crazy. Like, she's not willing to help cover any damages. She's throwing $50 in your face. Like, whatever. So I sent her a text. And actually, Hunter, can you bring up the text I sent her?
Of course.
All right. And this message was off the dome. It was off the dome. And I think I got a little bit of help. Actually, did I get any help with this first text? I don't think so. I think at this point we hadn't been like really consulting anyone. Anyways, let me read, please. I said, good morning, Anna, with one N. Period. And if you know me, I like to throw exclamation points, right? Because I'm happy and like we're having a good time. No, good morning, Anna. Period.
Hates periods.
I said, after speaking with my husband, we have decided that we will be terminating our lease as soon as we have another house secured. On May 22nd, Hunter sent you a text letting you know that there were cracks in the roof and that the roof was detaching. We made it very clear that this was an issue in regard to the ceiling potentially falling. You responded back that you would get this dealt with soon and proceeded to not fix it. On June 6th, I sent an email stating that there are now cracks in the wall of the master bathroom, which after looking into this are signs of the entire house's instability. Then you responded on June 9th, insinuating that this was a problem for the future. Because of your lack of concern, we thought maybe we were overreacting. We had friends staying and watching the home for us while on vacation from Thursday, June 18th to Sunday, June 21st. They witnessed the roof come down on Thursday, June 18th. This could have resulted in serious bodily injury to them, and if we were here with our pets, could have resulted in serious bodily injury to us and or death of our pets, okay? Because where the ceiling fell is like exactly where they all like to hang. Then I go, you had people come and repair the roof, whose repairs finished on Saturday, June 20th. By Sunday, June 21st, there were new cracks in the brand new ceiling that are even more numerous when the roof first fell. And there was a new large crack near the ceiling, blah, blah, blah. This, along with the fact that the bathroom's wall still has cracks in it, furthers our belief that this home is still too unstable and unsafe to live in. We currently don't have any pets in our home and are having to figure out care for them, and we ourselves feel extremely unsafe to the point of not wanting to go into the living room, dining room, or kitchen due to the fact that the ceiling could collapse again. I'm going to pause there. We also couldn't really use those areas because I had to get fixed again, so all of our stuff was shoved into the dining area in the kitchen.
Also, we felt like we couldn't really clean any of the
Yeah,
stuff
we
that
couldn't
had
do anything. Yeah. And so it's like we were just holed up in our room, essentially. And still kind of are. And then I go, we have the legal rights, which we do, to terminate our lease early to an unlivable and unsafe environment. We have given you a month to fix this very serious issue, and due to your lack of urgency, poor communication, and clear disregard for the situation you have placed us in, we will be moving out as soon as we find a safe, habitable home for our family. And then I say, in addition, fun fact, the contractors who, took the remainder of the ceiling down to replace it all, left that entire ceiling in trash bags in the front of our yard. And one, they were extremely heavy. Two, we were just left with having to dispose of them because the city wasn't going to do it because it was too heavy. So I let her know, hey, you need to have these people pick up these fucking trash bags because we're not doing it. And then I end my text with, let me know if you have any questions and we will get back to you with our solidified move out date as soon as we find a home for ourselves.
And within those next few days, after sending this, we expeditiously started looking at homes.
Yes, we were looking, dude, we have driven to a house that is not ours every single day this week. Monday through today.
Right. Yeah.
Literally, Monday through today. And today's Saturday. And just looking at multiple homes because we were trying to get out of this house because we were concerned. She had a contractor come out on, I want to say Tuesday, yeah. And he confirms to me, this house has foundational issues, and I can tell that it's kind of like a patchwork job. Like, stuff isn't done. Like, he was pointing out all these spots, all in our garage, all in every room. Like, yeah, this was done sloppily, that was done sloppily. And I asked him, okay, why do you think the roof fell? And he says he believes the roof fell, quote, because it was extremely old and had not been like upkept well, and like kind of insinuated that like low-key it should have been replaced a long time ago. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he was like a really nice guy, ends up leaving. And then I think, oh fuck, I should have had him give me his notes on like everything he observed. Or like I should have recorded him. Look, fun fact, in Texas, it's legal to record somebody, whether they do or don't know that you're recording them. And I'm not saying record people and be creepy, but I am saying in situations where it calls for you to have evidence because shit might be going legal. In the state of Texas, only one person has to be aware that there's a recording happening. At least when it comes to audio. I don't know if the same happens for video. I think it's the same. It's just one person has to be aware. Now, don't go being creepy though. I'm not giving you permission to be creepy, okay? But I was like, shit, I should have like recorded that or like done a voice memo so I had evidence of him telling me all of these things wrong with this fucking house. So after he left, I text Anna and I go, hey, what was the contractor's contact information? I'd like to contact him. And she, like I assumed, responds in her weird chat GPT way. Good morning, Danielle. I will not be providing that information because I would fear that there would be miscommunication and we would be overlapping and yada yada, like sounding like nobody actually, like she's sounding like an alien pretending to be a human, which at this point I wouldn't be surprised if she is. And she basically says, no, I don't want to give you his information. And she goes, why? I can communicate for him, or I can communicate for you to him. And I go, blatantly, I say, I want to get the notes from everything he told me, and I want them to go directly to me from him, because I want to make sure that you don't have him omit anything or change anything that he told me. And then she like takes fucking forever because she's copying that text and then pasting it into ChatGPT and then telling it how she wants it to respond and then copying that and then coming back to me and then pasting it in the text thread. So it takes fucking 5 years for her to respond to shit. And also, regarding her ChatGPT responses, it became so obvious because they would like start, like, they were blatantly imitating the format of my text. Like, one of them, I said, like, regarding your blah, 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 blah. She would say, the next text would be like, regarding your yada, yada, yada. Like, oh my God. And so she basically responds with ChatGPT and says, oh, I would never do that. And I can assure you that yada, 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 yada. And so I'm like, okay, whatever. So then I decide I have to sleuth. We have a Ring camera. I go on the Ring camera and I see that he has a logo. It's really blurry though. It's really blurry. And it's small on his shirt. And I'm like, fuck. Okay. I'm able to catch a frame where I think it says IUM at the end. IUM. And I'm like, ooh. And then I catch another angle. Is that a P? I see premium in a blue font with red under it.
And you know that she had to be looking frame by
yeah,
frame.
Like literally frame by frame. And so then I was like, did he come here another day? Like maybe I could see him in another shirt with the same logo. And guess what? I did when he came while we were in Dallas. And he was wearing a gray shirt. So it was like easier to make out the premium. And then I realized the red line underneath it wasn't a red line. It was text. And it was like something services. I forgot what it was. But I Googled that because before I decided to look at the Ring, or before I realized that it had said premium, I was just like, let me just look up like contractor services and see like if I could call. But like none of them gave like it was that guy, because they gave like super corporate-y and he gave like door-to-door vibes. And so I realized the other two words, I Google it, and it's a carpet cleaning company. Like not carpenters, carpet cleaning, like steam and clean your carpets. And I'm like, huh? Well, it's the exact same logo though. Like the exact same. So I call the number on the picture of the truck of this carpet cleaning service that I find online. Mind you, they have less than 3 stars. I hear him pick up the phone. It's him. And I'm like, oh my God, hey. And he's like, hey. Because like he was nice to me. And like I kind of told him like what was going on. And he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I tell him, I'm like, hey, could you send me your notes of like everything you like said to me today, please? And he was like, yeah, I can. Hangs up the phone. And on the phone, he told me like, send me a text of your email. So then I send him a text to my email. I tell him like, thank you so much. Please mention like XYZ things that you told me today and like give your thoughts on what you said. He doesn't do it. And he still hasn't done it. And what I realized is Anna probably reached out to him and was like, do not talk to her. Do not talk to her under any circumstances. Whatever. So I'm mad at him. I'm mad at him now. Man up and freaking stand for justice. Whatever. But I didn't even tell you guys what Anna's stupid response was to me telling her we were leaving. Her response was essentially, I disagree that you have the right to leave because I fixed the roof 2 days after it fell. Here's the issue with that. The issue we reported wasn't the roof falling, right? The issue we reported, Anna, was the roof disconnecting from the ceiling, or the ceiling disconnecting on May 22nd.
And that's what we call, in the corporate world, root cause analysis.
Exactly. Thank you, Hunter. Thank you. And so you didn't fix that issue, and the ceiling completely collapsing is a result, right? Cause and effect. Babe, come on. The ceiling falling is a direct result of your inaction of fixing the fucking ceiling when we originally reported it. And this could have all been avoided and our shit wouldn't have been damaged. And yeah, she says, I fixed it 2 days, which is within a timely manner, and it's fixed now. So, like, you don't really have a reason to leave. And then she says, but if you are going to leave, let me know so we can discuss next steps. And I'm like, great. And then she also says, also, I didn't realize that it was that serious because you guys made it seem as if it was cosmetic. You led me to believe it was cosmetic, like paint flaking or just, normal chipping as a house settles.
But if we refer to my initial text on May 22nd at 5:32 p.m., I saw that part of the ceiling was disconnected near the top.
Keyword disconnected. And you know what? For Anna, that's probably a big word for Elmo. And how many syllables is that? Disconnected. Four! Almost filling up your hand there.
It's pretty big, yeah.
And then he sends a photo of the ceiling sagging and one end of it opening up and cracking wide open. Anyways, what world? My response to that, obviously, is like, you have... Well, one, I'm like, I rerun her through the timeline and say this 100% could have been avoided if you had not ignored it and not followed through with your word when you said you were going to send somebody to check it. And I was like, and the fact that you were going to send someone already confirms you understood it was more than flaking paint. But she's trying to play ignorant because she's trying to save her ass, right? And so then I tell her the pictures in the verbiage Hunter used in his text message, left no room for you to reasonably think it was cosmetic. Anyways, and then I tell her, if you do not agree, like, we're gonna have to, like, consult the family lawyer. And have we? Yes, and we're waiting on things. So I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. But she essentially responds again with like, if I had known, I would have fixed it. With her freaking chat GPT response. And then says, and if you're still moving out, please let me know so we could come, or so we could talk about next steps. And I'm like, what the fuck are next steps? But she kept wanting a specific date. So at this point, people are telling me, oh, she wants that specific date so she can be like, you're breaching her lease. You owe me all these thousands of dollars. And so I'm like, whatever. We go a couple days. We're touring like crazy. We get denied for one house. And we're like, crap. And our realtor was like so shocked because she was like, I was like fully confident you guys were going to get confirmed here. Or not confirmed, accepted. And she was like, you guys are like the perfect setup for a house like this. But she did mention apparently sometimes people offer more on rentals, like to pay, than like, I don't know, than what's listed. I'm like, why would you do that? That's kind of stupid.
Not us.
Yeah, not us. No, girlfriend. If I could offer less, I would. And so we tell her, okay, we haven't been able to solidify a date because it's taking a while to find, a habitable home. Because, mind you, that contractor said they needed to do a bunch of work, and they already did some work. Oh, I already forgot. The contractor said the entire, top job of the ceiling that was replaced needed to be scraped off and redone because he could tell it was a rushed job, and they didn't let it fully dry, and that's why it was, literally falling off again. And he's like, I don't think it's going to fall, though. And I'm like, you just told me that this was a rushed job, and I'm supposed to feel safe?
Mm-hmm.
They think I'm stupid. Oh, and so anyways, I ask her, okay, yeah, so if we were to move out, what would happen? And she goes, I'll waive August. And I'm like, And she goes, and you can apply your $1,900 deposit to July's rent. And I'm like, okay. And she goes, but if you're not out by June 30th, you have to pay me for July's rent. And I go, oh, okay. So you're an actual asshole. You're actually an asshole. So, mind you, we have been great tenants. We have always paid rent days early. Like, we take care of this house. We're clean people. Like, we've always communicated with her if anything concerning has happened. Like this situation! She could have saved herself some fucking money instead of having to replace the entire ceiling and then to have to redo it. But mind you, oh my god, I didn't even finish that story. I'm so discombobulated. They didn't replace the entire top layer of it like they should have. They came in, scraped off the little problem areas, which were plenty, and just like filled over them. And Hunter texts her and says, hey, we were told this by the contractor, and instead of doing that, they're patching it. Was it not communicated to them that this is what needed to happen? She read it, never responded, because I bet she told them, oh, just patch it, because she doesn't want to pay for it, because that's how she's fixed every fucking thing in this house, is she patches over it until the ceiling falls down. Anyways, I respond with, yeah, no. And I tell her again, the same shit I've been saying this entire time. I run through all the dates. I say this was completely avoidable. I say, considering all of the damage, the fact that we've been good tenants, the fact that all of these things, the fact that you're a fucking awful person, I believe we can come to a different mutual agreement. And at this point, my aunt, who works directly with a lawyer and who's like in courtrooms all day, she like sent me a little draft to send to her. I basically tell her, your only option in this situation that actually makes sense and like that can cover your ass legally without us retaliating would be for you to let us leave whenever we find a new home, and we can prove that we're actively looking. And yeah, and we need that security deposit back. Anyway, she says no. I say, okay, let's compromise, right? I ultimately just want at least some money because, okay, we're leaving early. You're out of renters for 2 months. Sure. But also it's only fucking 2 months. Our lease was a 15-month lease. Like, we've been here for over a year, lady. Anyways, and with all the stuff that you need done to this damn house, you probably need the 2 months to figure your shit out. But, thank you, Hunter. The giggle. So, yeah, I bounce back and I go, okay, let's meet in the middle. You can keep $1,850 of the security deposit because she did say we got $50 off of July's rent. So run me my $50 immediately. Mm-hmm. And I would like a refund of the days of June that we could not use this house. Like, actually, we could not use this house. And I was like, I believe we should be refunded for the days that we couldn't use the home that we paid for. Her response is, well, actually, you were in Dallas when the whole thing happened, so I'm not going to refund you for those days. Hey y'all, editing Danielle again. I just have to insert here that I think she is writing so hard on the fact that no one or no pet got injured in this. But like, seriously, our friends who were staying here, she is so lucky and we are so lucky. That ceiling was extremely heavy when we came and like actually saw and like picked it up. And she's just like acting so, like, I feel like she's acting like we're making this a big deal because no one was actually hurt. And it's like, no, you should take a serious safety risk like the ceiling collapsing, serious whether or not anybody got hurt. It's like when I hear like the difference between like attempted murder versus like actual murder, I'm like, why is there a difference though? Like, just because you failed at like actually hurting someone means like it's not as big of a deal, you know? Anyways, back to it. Here we go, bitch. Okay. 1, there were guests in the house and they had to leave and pay their own money for an Airbnb. 2,
it's part of our rent that we can have
guests
stay over.
So they were displaced. And because my thing was, we were displaced out of a home for X days. And she's like, you weren't displaced because you were in Dallas. Two, we paid $1,900 for all 30 days of June to stay in this house. We were not allowed, even though we were in fucking Dallas, we paid for 30 days of access to this damn house.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe we should be refunded on the days we couldn't actually use what we paid for. And also, that is a law. That is also in the lease. Her response is, this is my last message, because we were going back and forth at that point. This is my last message, and please tell me if you're gonna take it or leave it. Whatever. So we take it for now. And I don't even say that I agreed. I just said, she's like, this is my last response. Please tell me if you accept these terms. I didn't tell her I accept these terms. I said, okay, send me the $50 and we will be out by June 30th. Because I don't accept these terms. I don't accept them. And knowing her, she's too fucking incompetent enough to know that I didn't accept. Because she doesn't fucking read her text messages. Because if she actually was somebody of sound mind and body, she would have seen Hunter's text on May 22nd and fixed the fucking ceiling. If she was somebody of sound mind and body, she wouldn't be using ChatGPT to communicate. And I bet you're wondering, Danielle, knowing you probably shat on her for using ChatGPT. Yes, I did, because I started running her text through an AI identifier, and they were coming back as 100% AI, which we're not surprised because they were like mimicking the format of my texts. And so I respond to one of her messages and I say, also, for this to be a productive conversation, we ask that you stop using AI to communicate for yourself. We would prefer to communicate with you directly and not a robot answering prompts. To which her response was, yes, I do use ChatGPT. And then she just continues using it. And here's my thing. Anna has a very, very, very subtle Hispanic accent. Like, very subtle. But other than that, like, she speaks fluently. Every time we've spoken to her, it's not choppy. Like, she's fluent. And so we were talking to some people and they were like, well, bilingual and she might need it to be more like precise or whatever. Here's my thing. This might be controversial, actually. I am a child of immigrants, so I'm going to preface this with, I love people from everywhere. I love that my family is not from the US. I think it's the coolest fucking thing ever, right? I can have that opinion, but also believe if you are in a career path where you need to effectively communicate with people in regards to their livelihoods and the safety of their home, and you have to be able to fully comprehend what they are saying to you. And I don't mean like casual talking. I'm talking things regarding legal terms and leases and laws and big words. If you cannot do that without needing to consult an AI chatbot to make sure you understand what's happening, I do not believe you should be managing whatever it is you're managing. Like in this case, I don't think you should be a landlord if you can't have a coherent conversation without using AI to discuss serious, life-altering, and like safety risks with your tenants. And honestly, I stand 10 toes down on that. And like once I said that to my friends, they're like, yeah, you kind of right. And it's like, yes. I don't give a fuck that English is not your main tongue. I don't give a fuck. I do give a fuck that we can communicate to the degree that this whole situation that we are in, with you being our landlord, I care about you being able to communicate to the degree that is expected, which is you being knowledgeable of legal terms and your lease, which, mind you, she's done little things for us that we've noticed technically weren't her job in our lease. And we were like, oh, maybe she's just the sweetest person ever.
Very appreciative. It was really nice.
Like, oh, we didn't have to pay for that. Thank you. No, now that I think about it, I don't think she's ever fucking read the lease. And if she has, I don't think she understands it.
But hey.
And I don't think that's her fault if it's because of the language barrier. But she seems extremely conversationally fluent, which means you need to educate yourself on more complicated law-based language. Because you're not doing your freaking job, and this involves people's housing.
And you need to understand what you're signing up for. Like, all the things that we are bringing up with this property code 92.056, all that, is very explicitly written in
And
the lease.
and she doesn't like address any of the laws we brought up, like ever. She doesn't address. She says like, I acknowledge you stating blah 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 about yada yada, but she doesn't discuss it like she understands it. Anyways, and then it gets to a point where I'm like, can we just like hop on a call? Can we like meet at a coffee shop to discuss this? And she goes, after the accusations and the comments made towards me, I am now uncomfortable to continue this other than via email or text. I'm like, literally, thank you, ChatGPT. Thank you, ChatGPT. I don't think you've ever said the word via to us over the phone ever. No, I stand by that. And yeah, I also realized she's kind of really shitty at her job because she also, when we were like, hey, we're not home, so we can't move anything out of the living room when the, ceiling had fallen upon it. She was like, oh, okay, I'll just tell the people the garage code. What's the code to the garage? Bitch.
This is your house.
You gave us the code to the garage. Was that also ChatGPT? That emailed that code to us all these months ago, over a year ago?
Actually, I think it was the realtor. I don't think she did it. She didn't do any of that
Girl,
herself. Someone else did it for her.
I don't know. But whatever. I'm honestly leaving out so many details because I know this is already long as hell. Like, this video alone is 21 minutes. Oh my god, we have another clip that was like 17 minutes. This is gonna be a long episode. To kind of wrap this up semi-quickly, I doubt it's gonna be quickly, we were able to find a really, really, really cute townhome that we really like. And I'm surprised that I'm willing to live in a townhome because I'm somebody who grew up in a one-story, and every place we've lived so far, like as a couple, has been a one-story because I just don't like the idea of being on a different floor than like somebody who broke into our house or something. But Hunter grew up in a two-story, so he's been open to both, but we've just lived in one stories because, I've been so anti-multi-story. But we've been so desperate that we were just touring anywhere that looked relatively acceptable to live in. Pulled up to this townhome. It's 3 stories. Bottom floor, so the first and third floor are the secondary and the master bedrooms. The master is like the top floor. And then the second floor is the like shared spaces. So like if you had a roommate almost. But it's so cute. It's so well kept. It's fairly new. It was like built in 2015. We toured it. It looked so hip and young and poppin', and I could imagine us hosting things. And I was like, you know what? I don't like stairs, but hell yeah. And the master suite is ginormous. The bathroom alone is like bigger than our bedroom, I feel like.
It is.
Like, it's literally insane. The closet is huge. Like, everything about it we love. Obviously, there's like its little quirks here and there, but today we went back just to confirm that like we didn't see anything regarding like pests or poor foundation problems, because that contractor did talk me through like what to look for in regards to foundation. We didn't see any issues with that. And so Friday was so stressful for us because we put in our application, but then it was like, oh, the property wasn't showing up. And we're like, what the fuck? The property's not showing up? Why is it not showing up? And then our realtor was like, well, maybe it's not like, it's not available anymore. And then so we had to wait for her to reach out. Then they said it is available. So then we had to apply. And this application process, one, cost money, $75 each. And so I'm already pissed off because if we get denied again, we're out $100 and something bucks.
150.
Yeah, $150. Okay, math major. Okay.
Thank you.
So, people watching this are like, Danielle, it was 75 times 2, please. Like, why are you impressed?
I'll take
and
it.
so I'm like, damn, like we're going to lose out on that money, and we're already having to prep all this money to move. And so we put our application in, submit our information, and they, on this like website for the company that like manages these homes, they have like a live application thing where you can see like application pending, and then there's a whole separate section for if your application is approved. So I go and I'm just like on this. I'm like having to do work on the side because I was working from home, and then going back and checking, and then just going back and forth, right? And this goes for hours because my realtor is also sending me things to do. They're sending us things. We're communicating with them like, hey, this is an emergency situation. They're leaving an unsafe home, blah, blah, blah. And honestly, the guy we worked with, shout out him. He was like, I'll put you to the top of the list. Like, I can't promise anything will be confirmed by the end of today, but I'll do what I can. And then eventually I noticed on the applications, mind you, the place that we're looking at has been like on the market for a while. And I think it's because it's 3 stories. Like, a lot of people don't want to live in a place that's 3 stories. Like, I would have never thought to tour a place that was 3 stories unless we were in a situation like this. So it had been on the market for like 3 months. And so we were like, oh, we don't have to freak out about going up against anybody else because we lost out to another applicant with the other house that we applied to earlier this week. I look on the applicants that are pending, and there's another applicant that was placed before ours for the same townhome. And this was just one person. His or hers initials were JJ. And I was like, fuck, who is JJ? And so I'm texting Hunter. I'm like, damn, there's somebody who also applied. This person, like, only has 1 pet, and that pet's, like, not registered. So, like, they can charge them for that pet and make more money than they would with us. And, like, blah, 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 because we got our pets registered and everything. And I'm, like, freaking out. I'm texting Hunter. And then I look back up. And I see that our, like, application has been moved to the approved section. And I, like, almost started crying, like, actually. Like, I'm all energetic and, like, and angry right now. But this whole week has been so stressful and so scary and just, like, awful, awful, awful. And to see that on a home that, honestly, out of every single place we've ever toured, apartments, houses, townhomes, this has been the one that has been actually our favorite that we've ever, like, laid eyes on. Mm-hmm. And so, like, this is why, to, like, get corny, like, I'm somebody who very much believes everything happens for a reason. And, like, which is so funny because the night before we officially applied for the townhome, we went to tour another house, and we were, like, given the codes to get in and everything, and they would not work. Like, our realtor sent us the code and the website, and we were doing everything it was saying to do, and it would not work on any of the locks that we found. And we were like, look, we're going to take this as divine intervention that, like, we don't need to tour this place because we're getting the townhome. Anyways, oh my God, didn't I say I was wrapping up? Okay, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. I see the approved. I'm so happy. We get an email that confirms that we are tentatively, as of now, approved because they were awaiting, verifying our income and then verifying our rental. So here's what we're waiting on right now because Anna's slow ass doesn't respond because she has to copy the text and paste it into ChatGPT and then tell ChatGPT what she wants to say, and then she probably has to retweak it because she still doesn't understand what the fuck she's doing, and then she copies that and then she'll send it back to me. And lately she's been like copying and pasting the same text to me and Hunter, like not in a group chat. Like, let's say I'm texting her or Hunter is texting her, she will respond to that and then also send it to the like this dumbass doesn't even know how to make a fucking group chat.
Yeah. I was actually about to say
That's
that.
literally what it is.
She does.
And it's crazy because on the phone she doesn't really sound dumb. She sounds like just an older lady. Anyways, whatever. And so she finally responds hours after, like, the place has already closed. So there's nothing that can be done. We can't be sent a lease. And she goes like, oh, I can't fill this out until we officially, agree on a day. And that's when we did the whole back and forth. And then I told her, okay, send me my $50. And I never fucking agreed because I still don't agree. And she's not smart enough to figure that out. So when we have her ass in court and she says, oh, but we agreed on these terms. No, we didn't. Look at the messages. Like, I never said I agree to these terms. I said, send me my money, run your pockets, and we'll be out by the 30th. And your dumbass thought that was an agreement. And, like, a part of me is like, oh my God, what if she finds this? But then I remember, she's stupid. She's not going to find this. Anyways, and so now we're here and we're checking our application, like, live on their website. And it's saying she hasn't filled it out. But she told Hunter she filled it out yesterday. And it's still saying she hasn't. Hunter texted her this morning. She read it and never replied. Never replied when Hunter was like, please send me an update on if you've completed this. Thank you. Never replied. And I'm going to take that as maybe she has done it and they just haven't updated the website because they're closed over the weekend. I'm going to hope it's that, because if it's not, I'm going to be even more pissed off.
We're coming for you, Anna.
No, we're coming for you regardless, girl. That's that. Currently we're waiting. We are confirmed though. We're waiting for our like animals to be approved, but they're going to get approved. It just depends on how long they can get through the process. And we're waiting on Anna's verification that we rented here, and they're probably gonna ask her like, when's the end of your lease? Because that was her thing. I can't put. Do you want me to? Oh, she was petty about it. She was like, would you like me to put the end date of our lease that's on the document you signed? Yeah. Go ahead, put August 30th, girl. Go ahead. She finally was like, okay, yes, I'll do it, and put the 30th. And if she has, which hopefully she has, she said she did, does that mean anything at this point? Absolutely not, because she's proved her character. By Monday, we should see if she actually did it and how the people we've been talking to have been behaving. They're saying, we could get you in as early as Monday. So hopefully we do that, because the 30th is the last day we have to get out of this house. And that's Tuesday. So we already have our movers booked. Because usually we don't do movers. We usually do friends and like have a pizza party with beers after. But this is a 3-story home. Yeah, so no. We're gonna move everything that can fit in a car. And we're doing that with our friends. And shout out our freaking friends, man. Mm-hmm. We already have, I just sent out the bat signal. Like, people know what's going on and like what we're dealing with. And so many people said yes. I think we have over 10 people.
Yeah, over 10.
Because we're just trying to limit trips, because the place is 30 minutes from where we live. And it would be really, really time consuming to have to drive there, drive back, drive there, drive back with just our 2 cars. So we have over 10 people, 10 cars, not including ours. And like some people still are trying to see if they can work it out. So shout out having a village. I love my community. I love my friends. Our village is awesome. And we're going to get that part done and move everything, probably the majority that can fit in cars. And whatever we don't get to, or we'll get to all of it, we're going to have the movers move everything else that's big, right? Like beds and furniture and whatever. And that'll be that. We'll be in our new place. I'm going to speak it into existence. We will be in our new home, fully moved in by the end of June 30th. And then we're going to have a 4th of July weekend. That's going to be that murder mystery I talked about. And we leave for that either Wednesday night or Thursday morning, depending on how like moving is and how we get settled. But that's crazy. This is all of June. And now going into the beginning of July has just been so fast paced. It's been so insane. Hunter, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, this past week alone has felt like 5 years.
Honestly, like I can't believe I first sent her the like we're leaving text on Monday. Like that feels like forever ago.
Yeah, and we've just been going back and forth for so long that it feels just
like I'm tired of talking to this.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. And the fact that, as she mentioned at the beginning of the episode, there were things that happened to us the week prior that was totally making us crazy, and we thought, it can't get worse than this, right?
No, seriously, like, I don't know what it is about the 13th episode. It's definitely cursed. There were other topics that are, like, also kind of negative and, like, just insane. That will be very entertaining for y'all to listen to. But I was like, oh, no, we can only talk about the ceiling, because this episode is, at this point, well over an hour long. And I hope it was interesting. I hope it was very teaful. Thank you, Hunter, for being my first guest and possibly only guest, at least for this year. But I had to have you on because you have also been going on this ride.
Of course. I appreciate being able to, give my part, and, we are getting through this together, and, the next episode, it'll be
a different setting for those of you who are just listening to this. I'm currently on our bed. We're both just laying on our bed. And we were taking a break from moving. But we're gonna have to get right back to it after this and packing up.
Oof.
And my hair looks literally insane. I look literally insane. Hunter is off camera because I wanted to hear my little. If you don't know what Hunter looks like, sucks to suck. And
I'm a
so,
mystery.
yeah, and so I guess that's it. I think I've said everything, and if I have more to say, I'm sure we're going to have more updates next episode regarding this whole situation, but overall, I'm very thankful we found a place that we're very excited about to move into.
Yeah.
Because I was worried, and like I'm assuming you were worried about this too, that we were just gonna have to settle for whatever we could get, and that was gonna be awful. But thankfully we're not doing this. Mind you, this home is way bigger than what we're living in, and it's only $50 more than what we're paying.
Easy.
Now, I will say they just lowered the price of it because it's been empty for a bit. It was like originally like almost $2,200. And then they were like, damn, nobody wants to deal with these stairs. $1,950. And we were like, sold. I'm speaking into existence. On Monday, everything's going to go through. Anna already did her shit and closed out and confirmed that we can move. And we're going to be able to move and go our separate ways. But we're not going to put this behind us because, Anna, if you ever have the capability and comprehension to navigate YouTube and search my name and find this specific episode, which I'm assuming, based off of the title, you can figure out it probably involves you, be prepared. Be prepared. Because you will hear of us again. Okay? And I hope, what do we hope for, Anna? I hope in the future, electric
hope,
chair?
Well,
what's that Wendy Williams thing where she's like, death to them all? No, for real, landlords? Death to them all! Because is it like even our friend's landlord that's being so awful to them, even though like they were moving into an infested home that wasn't taken care of? Like, is it just why? Why are they all so awful?
yeah,
They're so awful and so greedy, and it's awful. These are people's homes. Like, what? If I was a landlord, and my friend was joking about this, he was like, no, because if you become a landlord, it corrupts you.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I was a landlord and the ceiling fell on top of my tenants, I'd be like, hey guys, if you want to leave like tomorrow,
totally get it.
I totally get it. Go ahead, pack up. Go ahead, pack up if you'd like. Actually, and you know, I'll pay you for the rest of your lease. Like, what? Anyways, everything's going to be fine. It's going to be sorted out by the end of Monday. I hope. And we'll be in a better place. And by a better place, I don't mean deceased from all of this stress. I mean our new lovely townhome.
Yes.
You got anything else before I officially close out?
No. Just, Anna, we're coming for you.
Anna, buckle up. Also, Anna, in court, you can't use ChatGPT. Just so you know, be prepared to talk from your own thoughts and your own mind. And also be prepared to realize the law is on our side. The law is on our side. Thank you so much for listening. If you made it all the way to the end of this insanely long and insanely stressful episode, thank you.
But Danielle,
make sure what?
You haven't rated it.
Oh my god. Oh shit. See, I'm discombobulated. I'm going to rate these past 2 weeks, including the things that happened that you guys aren't even aware of yet. 0.2
Whoa.
stars.
I didn't think it'd get lower than 1. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to go 0.2 stars. And you know what that 0.2 is for? My nephew. My nephew.
Real cute.
If we're rating how happy he makes me, 5 stars.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of life experiences, I would like to avoid these last 2 weeks and never repeat them.
The
0.2 stars.
average experience, you can
0.2.
tell if that was a 5, everything else really dragged it down.
And the average is 0.2. Hunter, what are you rating it?
You know, I would say something similar. I'm going to say 0.5 just because I feel like my spirits have been lifted a little by the fact that we have secured a place. So the fact that we're able to move next. Tentatively. But the fact that there is light at the end of the tunnel, I believe that it is a little bit better. And hopefully next episode's rating will be significantly
higher. The setting will be better. I won't look insane. And yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, do all the things. And I will see you on the next episode. Bye. Good job.